What are subtle ways you've experienced sexism? Mod note, locked. Thank you to those who participated within the rules. This is not a debate sub. Asterisk, do not derail from anyone else's response to this question to argue, question whether or not it was sexism, give your opinion about why it's not sexism, or whatever else weird thing you're interested in doing to try to discount or invalidate their experiences. Their response and their experiences are valid and do not require or solicit your judgment or hypothetical alternate explanations. Please report all rule breaking. At my last job, I was in a 4-person accounting department. The controller, the accounting manager and the other staff accountant were all male. Anytime something needed filed or scanned, it would end up on my desk. I was also backup phone answerer when the receptionist was off, which I never offered to do. It was just assumed that I would. And, at the time this was all happening, I had worked there longer than any of them. A male PM CCing me and his male admin asking, "Can you process this?" Then following up 8 months later wondering why I didn't. I mean, I know how, but that's your admin's job, like why did you CC him? When I was at a guitar center buying drumsticks, the clerk offered to help. He asked me what kind does he typically use, implying that he thought I was there buying sticks for my boyfriend or something. Not a huge deal, I just said they're for me and he apologized. I don't know if this counts. I am a doctor. I am not a Miss, MRS, or MS. But since I work with and under a male doctor, everyone calls me by my name and not Drive Rema Sunshine, just Rema Sunshine all day every day. No one believes me that I am a doctor, they think I'm just another assistant half the time. I have all my degrees and certifications on my wall, business cards with Drive and a nameplate that says Drive on it. But everyone still calls me by my first name. To clarify, outside of work I would never expect someone to call me doctor, everyone can call me by my name or even Miss, MRS, or MS. I only feel the need to correct people at work. I'm a swimmer. I've been swimming since I was 4. There were some women in my neighborhood who told me to stop swimming and play a less competitive sport like badminton because swimming is a manly sport. My mom would often joke about getting me married at 21 if I didn't study well enough. It was only a joke, but I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have made a joke like that if I were a guy. I've been told that I'm a pretty good driver for a woman. I've been told to not wear shorts and sleeveless tops because it distracts guys. I've been told that I talk too loud for a girl. This happened yesterday. I went to Walmart to buy 5 $100 gift cards to walk around the store to hand out to people with kids just to spread a little Christmas cheer. As the female clerk was ringing up the cards, she said, "Does your honey know you're doing this?" I was so shocked I just replied, "I am the honey." I got told by a man that my handshake was too firm for a girl's and basically it should be softer and more delicate. I read a long time ago a handshake should be firm but not painful and you should look the person in the eye while you shake their hand. I always took that to heart as I, personally, do not like the feeling of a soft, limp handshake. It was so weird to think it was somehow wrong of a woman to have a firm handshake to this guy. Like men and women should have different ways to shake hands because of our genders and because women are the softer sex, our handshakes should be too. Boardroom meeting, every male, young or elderly, is addressed by their first name, and I'm called girl/darling. I don't know if it's exactly sexism, but when I saw this question I immediately thought of most times my boyfriend and I go out for dinner. If we order 2 different drinks, one alcoholic and the other non-alcoholic, he usually gets the alcoholic one placed in front of him. If we ask for advice on the wine, he usually gets much more technical answers and I usually get this one is sweeter than this one. The check is usually placed in front of him, even when I am the one who asks for it. When I play video games, and do something wrong, it's because I'm a girl. Even though my aim is pretty accurate and everything, and sometimes you just make mistakes in a game, I'll always have someone be satisfied that the woman messed up. Or, I'll have men say to me, "You know you can do this?" And it's something that's very basic, as if I'm stupid. Yes, I knew how to do that just like everyone else, Brian. Thank you. It makes me quit playing video games at times because I'm sick of being treated as inferior when I'm not. I'm an engineer with a unique background at work. I'm always asked to be the one to take notes in most meetings. I've had to start setting some boundaries. Also, most jobs I'm hired for I hear, "So glad we finally have a woman here, maybe this place will be more organized." I feel like a token LOL. Oh God, I went to high school for auto mechanics and left the industry after I realized the sexism. You don't want to work on cars, it is rough on your body. You should stay in the parts department. Another time when I was working in a parts store rather than the parts department of a dealership. I had to carry heavy parts to and from buildings while delivering them, which was relatively easy for me because I had a personal trainer at the time and very active. Some man asked if I needed help carrying out the floor mats, to which I responded by picking up 4 drum brake assemblies at once and said no thanks. I know I'm all over the place, but there was so much subtle sexism, whether it was that working on cars just wasn't a women's place, or I didn't have the muscles for it, or it was too dirty. I couldn't stand it. I realized I would have to work really hard to get where I wanted and still wouldn't be taken seriously, so I stopped pursuing it. I also found passion in different things. Been in a room full of boys including the instructor, I wasn't sure about a topic and he said out loud, "You know boys, the ladies always need some further explanation," and looked to the boys. Been a physics class at university. When I experience mansplaining. When I express subversive opinions. / behavior regarding motherhood, being a wife, etc. What does your husband think about that? I bet your dad taught you to drive. You are an excellent driver. When men I don't know call me sweetheart or honey. I'm not your sweetheart. One of our company's big cheeses came to our branch for a visit. He assumed I was the receptionist and tried to give me his coffee order. I pointed him towards the break room and said, "The Keurig's in there." Where I work, experience and capability is valued in men, youth, and low-cut necklines for women. We have plenty of capable and experienced women who are perhaps not as visually appealing, so do not get promoted. I am very bubbly and feminine, and I work in a male-dominated field where intelligence and grit are highly valued. I work at a prestigious organization and it's tough to get a job there, but nevertheless people presume I'm average. They don't assume I'm smart, I have to prove that I'm smart first. With my male colleagues I feel that people automatically assume that they're smart and they have to prove opposite to seen differently. So I guess the burden of proof of my own intelligence is higher. That awkward non-response when you display leadership or superiority in some respect, even when it's completely expected, e.g. you have the most expertise. They aren't confronting or challenging you, but ignoring you to show you they subscribe to social conventions in which a young woman should be quiet. That's not something you can prove to a random man who has never experienced it. Exclusion. Men help each other out, bond, and advance each other's careers. Again, hard to call out, because what, are you against friendship, you shrew? /s, I've done plenty of one of the boys when I was younger, and no, that doesn't get you anywhere. You're still not one of them. I'm also a circus artist, and had men say, "Wow, you can do more pull-ups than me," that makes me feel so bad to me. Way to tell me I should be inferior to you, a random man. As a circus artist. In upper body strength. This didn't happen to me, but saw it in an interview. Reporter: what does your husband think about that? Clinton: who cares? I'm the Secretary of State, not him.